Hey everyone, my name is David Dunbar, or the Theme Park Evangelist. I know this seems like a strange place for me to do a vlog, but I'm currently at IHOP right now. TJ was supposed to join me here, and I don't know where he is. I honestly wish I knew where he was. So anyway, I'm gonna work on my Tower of Terror vlog that I've been meaning to do for over a week now, because I'm like really behind. So last Monday, as you guys know, let me just make sure this is recording. Give me a second. Yep, it is good. So yes, last Monday I was at the Hollywood Studios doing a backstage tour of the Tower of Terror. Once again, doing another Hollywood Studios vlog. What else is new? And next Thursday is the first day of Food and Wine. I have to go back and check my schedule and make sure that I can go that day, because I really want to go. If not, I can do it Friday or something. Well, maybe not Friday. Anyway, it was really interesting. They took us into the gift shop right off the bat, which is different because most rides, if not all rides, end in a gift shop. In this case, I'm at Disney, so it ends in a Disney gift shop, you know what I mean? And they pointed out quite a bit of the Twilight Zone series things that they just threw everywhere. They had Talkie Tina on the shelf, which I definitely did not expect. They also had two different characters from the Dummy. Now, which episodes am I talking about right now? Because you probably have no idea what I'm even talking about right now. The Twilight Zone series, of course, is the show created by Rod Serling back in the 60s or something like that. And two of the episodes that I happen to bring up right now are The Living Doll, which is an episode about a young girl that got a doll that can talk, but is not very demonic. And the dad does not like the doll for the life of him. And there is another episode called The Dummy. This episode is about a ventriloquist who has a dummy that comes to life and tries to kill him. And that actually has been labeled as the scariest episode of the Twilight Zone series. I always thought Talkie Tina was, until I saw the Dummy, then I knew what they were talking about. But basically, the whole concept of the Twilight Zone series is strange things happening to people in strange places, or just in normal places. Stuff that can't happen, in other words. And that was the whole concept behind the Tower of Terror. Disney thought it would be cool to make an attraction based off of the Twilight Zone series. This is not an actual episode off the Twilight Zone series. In fact, the movie The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror has absolutely nothing to do with the ride at all. In fact, or actually has nothing to do with the show. It's based off of the attraction, so to speak, but it follows a completely different story. They used a witch as an excuse to why there was a lightning storm, instead of basing it all off the fact that it's just, you know, strange things happen in strange places. And that was the whole concept behind the Twilight Zone series. And I always loved the Twilight Zone series for that. Anyways, also in the gift shop I saw a painting of a bellhop carrying a set of keys. I always thought that was very intriguing, and when when our tour guide explained the concept behind that, the fact that it's actually a picture of him done by a famous artist I forget the name of, then it all of a sudden made sense as to who that was, because I always wondered who that was, and I had no idea that our tour guide was also one of the bellhops that's been there since the attraction opened. No wonder they used his image in the picture, and no wonder I've seen that picture so many times. And actually, what's also funny is the picture of this bellhop looks very evil looking, but this tour guide, which was the picture, or basically the picture of the tour guide that we were looking at, was a very, very nice guy. He's very funny, he's very energetic, he's an older guy, yes, but yet he looks so evil. It's like, you can't always believe what you see in the painting until you actually get to know them. It's like, wow, you know. And of course, a lot of these guys are actually very, very nice, but they're in character, and that's why a lot of people are afraid of them, because they think that they're just evil people, but they're actually very nice people. I don't usually talk to the Tower of Terror people because it will draw them away from their character. I want them to stay in character, and even when I'm over at Tower of Terror fooling around with the guests and being silly, they still manage to stay in character. They don't get on to me for making dumb jokes and stuff like that, and I'm very impressed with them for that. So afterwards, they took our Disney IDs. I guess there was a possibility that our Disney IDs could have accidentally turned on the ride in the room that we went to, and I was like, oh, okay, I wonder why they're taking our Disney IDs from us, which is basically a Disney guest member's free access to the parks, to getting free stuff. Of course, you get your main gate later on once you've been with the company for at least a week now. It used to be a few months, but they've changed that around since. But your Disney Blue ID is what gives you the ability to do a lot of things on Disney property that most guests could not do. So they took that away from us, locked it up, and put it in a little case. They took us into a normal elevator, took us into a hallway. Then I saw the tour guy pick up the phone and say, we're about to enter such and such corridor. I was like, okay. Next thing I knew, he opened the door, and I'm staring at myself, and I'm like, where am I? And I'm looking around, and then it came to me, or dawned on me, that I was in the room before the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is the room where the elevator goes up and down, up and down. This is the room with the giant eyeball, as I like to put it. It's basically the room where you come up after the first climb, and the elevator starts moving across the room, and you see strange things in the dark. But they're all actually behind glass, hanging on wires, and the majority of the things that you see in that room are all just projections, and you're listening to audio. I was very shocked when I got to see how the Starfield door, which is where the stars gather together, and then the doors open like very slowly, actually more like this. That's the way the projection makes it look like. I always thought that's how the door opened. I was like, whoa, like, are we gonna crash or something? And I've always wondered how the elevator has never been able to crash into that. Then I found out why. You don't. When I got to ride it with the lights on later, and I'm gonna jump ahead just because the fact that I'm still in this room. The elevator door, or the doors to there, sense you coming about 5-10 seconds before you actually get there. They actually open like this, if that makes any sense to you, or if I want to do it towards the camera, more like this. And I was like, really? And then the Starfield door projection starts after the doors open. So in reality, you're actually not running into anything at all. The doors are already open for you. The Starfield projection starts after the doors open. And that really threw me for a curve. And it still took me a few days to get over that. I was like, wow, that is so cool. They took us back down afterwards, and I think I accidentally jumped over a room. So, just for the fun of it, I'm going to go back to the first room that we actually started out with. But I really was so excited about talking about the room with the giant eyeball, which is just projection once again. And this is the room where the elevator ride ends. This is the room where you back out of the fifth dimension and the elevator spins around, and what you think is Chucky is actually Caesar from the Twilight Zone series episode The Dummy. Once again, I guess whoever designed the ride was a huge fan of that episode, because they had all kinds of examples from the ride, or from that show, I should say, from that specific episode. And they were asking me, or asking everybody, what's your favorite episode of the Twilight Zone series? I always loved the Surf Man. Obviously theirs is The Dummy. But the room where you back up a little bit and then you turn around and you go towards the door where the door's open and you takes you to the basement where the TV screens are, where you can see your picture, and then which leads to the gift shop. There's actually more to that room than I thought. That's also where they keep the extra elevator cars in case they need more. Now you're probably like, what on earth are you talking about right now? Apparently, to my surprise, the elevator that you ride on is not your ordinary elevator. Well, we already gathered that from the beginning, from the get-go. And what you're basically riding in is an elevator perched on top of a car, like a box, sort of. And it's all controlled by computers, by 3 different computers. And then you're also traveling on top of whatever you call it, trackless floor. And the trackless floor has wires in it that guide the vehicle along. Another way to put it is, think about how Spider-Man and Transformers work. You got the ride vehicle that sits on top of something else and it's able to move about. That's basically how they designed Tower of Terror, and they're using technology from the 1990s, which I thought was very impressive. So I'm coming to a wrap-up, because I learned all of this information in about 2 hours, but I'm trying to condense it into a shorter amount of time. So I'm gonna wrap up by telling you guys a few more things that I learned, including how old the furniture is in the lobby. And that should be about it. Now that you know how the ride vehicles move about, and just one more piece of information regarding how the ride vehicles move about. The room with the giant eyeball is the only room where they actually have a track, because of the fact that the ride vehicle has to do a diagonal curve this way towards the Starfield doors. They were worried that the elevator car is going to go boom and fall into the wall, because you're actually really close to the wall. You're only like a few meters from it, but you don't realize it. So they decided to put a track there to keep it from accidentally falling into it. The only reason why it doesn't need it in the last room is because of the fact that there's a lot of open space and it's not curving about. Trackless ride system is great, but at the same time, because of the fact that the Tower of Terror is the first attraction to use a trackless ride system, it's not going to be the perfect quality or anything like that. So they did have to put in whatever you call it, a way for the ride vehicle not to run into anything. Most of it is trackless. In fact, I was surprised that the elevator shaft in the fifth dimension is what does all the work, not the ride vehicle. The ride vehicle slips into the elevator shaft, and then the elevator shaft does all the work from there. And it can hold up to like 2 tons of weight, so that's quite impressive. So here comes the wrap-up portion. The whatever you call it, pre-show video for one thing, was actually a rip-off of the episode. Oh my goodness, I forget the name of it. They had told me and I forgot. It was ripped off of a Twilight Zone series episode. You have to forgive me if I remember. That would be awesome, but I doubt it. But it was basically taken from one of their episodes where Rod Serling is standing in front of an American flag, and he says that this is, you may recognize as an American flag. Well, they decided to digitalize over that scene with him, because that's actually him you're looking at. And then he turns around, or he turns his body this way and points at the American flag. But instead, Disney took the American flag out and digitalized over an elevator. And then, of course, you're probably thinking, well, he says, this is, you may recognize as a service elevator, still in operation waiting for you. That's actually not Rod Serling's voice. That's actually somebody else's that sounds just like him. Also a good friend of Disney. That's why they were able to get him to do it. Another thing that surprised me very much. Also, in the lobby, I learned that the oldest furniture they have is 17th century Portuguese Renaissance. And that is the 4 chairs that are kind of off to the side on the or in the lobby. You don't realize how old some of that furniture is, because you just stop and you just look at it, you're like, okay, that's cool, and then you just keep moving on. You're like, but to learn that information, it's like, wow, you know, it's mind-blowing. But I don't want to tell you guys everything. There is a lot of stuff that only cast members can know. Because half of that information I learned is stuff that a guest can know, and half of that information is only stuff that cast members can know. As much as I like to tell you the information that I learned from a cast member point of view, I'm not going to say it, because it's none of anybody's business. It's Disney's business. So that's the reason why I'm wrapping up the video there. But if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the description or in the comment section below. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to my video and subscribe to my channel, as I really need more subscribers. I'm sorry once again that I'm so behind on getting this video done. I've been so busy lately, and I look forward to seeing everyone in my next vlog. And always remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. Have a great day, and peace out.